Hey there, welcome to the Healthy Vibes podcast. I'm Kelly Renato, and I thank you so much for sharing your time with me today for a quick bit of encouragement. Recently, I talked to a group of high school girls about the connection between our mind and our heart. And as I talked to them, I realized how important this conversation was, not only for them, but for all of us. And thinking about it in this perspective, I just hope helps you to be more intentional and careful and courageous about what you allow in your mind and changing what's in your mind if needed. Because our mind is a direct connection to our heart. And the Bible tells us to, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Proverbs 4:23. And it is the wellspring of life, because not only does our heart affect our health, it affects our relationship, it affects our peace of mind, the calm we have in our life, our relationships, our day-to-day. It affects everything. And our heart is who we are, what we feel, whether we feel good about ourselves, about others in our life, whether we're able to give grace and forgiveness. Our heart should be opened wide to God, to giving love, giving grace. And that's when I feel that Christ truly shines through us, when people look at you and realize that as a believer, that's what's coming out of you. And our mind, we have control of our heart. And there was a point in my life when I got to a place where I felt that my heart, like it was just becoming hard. It was becoming cold. I just was in like a dark place, and everything, all of my thoughts were becoming ugly and were leading to my heart just rotting, like the Bible says too. There's many verses about our heart and how important it is to protect it, and how it can be the root of ugliness if we don't protect it and take care of it. And as we enter this holiday season, I want you to protect your heart, and I want you to be so careful of what you allow in your mind and what you think, what you say, because the devil works overtime this time of year. The devil wants us miserable during the holidays. He wants us to focus on all the wrong things. And if we get sucked up into this world, we will. And at any time of the year, set your mind on things above, not on earthly things this time of year. Colossians 3:2. So important to focus on what this time of year is really about, and focus on God and peace and the joy and the beauty of the season, and not all the rest of it. And I know it's all there, and it's hard to not, we're all in different situations. Some of us can disconnect from it. Some of us can say, no, I'm not doing that this year. But you have to figure out what works for you and how you can still focus on the season, but also celebrate the holiday how you want as a family, for your kids, for others. Because some of the holiday traditions I love, and I love buying presents for my kids and loved ones. But I also think it's gotten pretty overwhelming, and it's almost hard to enjoy the season by trying to keep up with what the materialism has become. So as you go into this holiday season, I want you to know that you get to choose how you let these things affect you, how you respond to them, knowing what you can control and what you can't, knowing your thoughts matter, and what you allow into your mind is so important. And you can change it. If your mind is spinning out of control, you can change it. Get yourself an anchor thought. Get yourself a Bible verse that you go to, that you post in your office, you post on your calendar, on your refrigerator, on your bathroom mirror, you write it on your arm, whatever you want to do to remember. When your thoughts begin to spiral, you go back to that thought. You go back to that verse. I know with me, I always loved Psalm 94:19. When anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy. And I had it all over my office. It was in my head, on my mirror, on my refrigerator. And when my mind would get out of control, when I would feel anxiety, stress, I'd get aggravated. I was, like nonstop, like replaying something where someone upset me, the routine. It's so easy to happen and just replay and replay and replay. And you're wasting all your good energy on these negative situations, which many times we can't control, many times are just petty. We're taking it too personal. We're making too big a deal out of it. And really, you just choose to move on. And when you're in the habit of not choosing to move on, it's hard. But I promise once you start, it gets easier and easier to be like I almost go through the checklist. I can't control that. In the scheme of things, this really isn't as big as I thought. They probably didn't even realize how that made me feel. It's not about me. I'm just going to give them grace. I'd say stupid things too. Time to move on. God, I'm going to let you have that. And I'm going to be grateful that this taught me a lesson. And I'm not going to let that bother me so much again and waste any more energy and move on. Like, find your routine of how you stop the cycle of negative thoughts and negative feelings, and how you redirect your path, whether with a verse, an anchor thought, gratitude. Gratitude is the most underused superpower out there, like just being grateful. And not a lot of times when I say to people, practice gratitude, or, let's be grateful for this, a lot of times you get the response, well, I am grateful. I'm grateful. There's a difference between just saying you're grateful and truly living with gratitude. Living with gratitude is you can take a negative situation and become grateful for it. You can take a struggle and become grateful for it. You can take a hardship, a challenge, something that you're having a hard time approaching, and be grateful for it, and find the perspective to approach it differently. There's always multiple perspectives to every situation. And sometimes we've all been there, and I've had many conversations with people where you try to help them through something and they're just hammering you back with excuses, why that won't work, why this, why that. And at some point, when something is not good, making you miserable, irritable, angry, frustrated, any of those negative feelings, that's when you have got to say to yourself, there's another way to look at this. Because there is. And maybe it's not what you're used to. Maybe it's not your habit. Maybe it's not even what you want to choose. But I promise, as you begin to choose differently, it gets easier. And you almost feel this huge, heavy weight like lifted off of you, that you don't have to choose those feelings anymore. You're choosing them. It's not that person's fault. It's not the situation's fault. It's how you are reacting to it. And this is where we grow up, we gain humility, we swallow our pride, and we stop being so stubborn about whatever it is we're holding on to. Because this, if you're a believer, is what Jesus wants us to do. Move on from it. Find a new perspective. Choose gratitude. Open your mind. React differently. Think about how God would respond to whatever it is you're responding to negatively. And either way, this season comes around once a year. And that's the thing. It is so amazingly beautiful. But I've been in this season many times in my life, and I couldn't find the beauty. It was like there was so much heaviness. There was things going on, and they were hard. And I know people that are going through hard things. But I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you for your health, because negativity, stress, anxiety, ugliness, bitterness, resentful, being angry, all of those are terrible for your health. They truly are, like the phrase goes, affecting you more than anyone else that you're upset with. You are hurting your health. And when I say hurting your health, I mean hurting your health. Like deep down in your cells, you are hurting your health by holding on to those feelings. Those feelings cause disease. They cause all kinds of problems within your body, and I strongly believe it. Science shows it. So I want you today to figure out how, when negative thoughts, because we're all different as to how we can switch them, how we can change how we're feeling, and redirect our focus to good things. Again, some of the tools you can use are an anchor thought, a Bible verse, full on gratitude, like just switching it and saying, I am grateful for this. I am grateful for this person. I am grateful for this challenge. And when I say these things, say them out loud to yourself. If you can't say them out loud, say them in your head if someone's there and you don't want to do that. But you have to say these things, write them down, whatever works for you. I promise they help. And you give grace and you move on. And it really, every time you do it, you get stronger and stronger and stronger at it. And you will be so thankful that you did. So some of the things that also can help is how you start your day. During this time of year, I really, really make sure I start my day with something good in my mind, whether it's a devotion, a prayer, my Bible, some positive podcast, book, whatever it is. How you start your day matters. It's your foundation. Taking care of yourself in this season. And I know seasons go off, but don't say, I'm just not doing anything till January. That doesn't work. Just modify it. Still try to walk and be more active and get your exercise in. And if it's less than normal, that's fine. But just try to still do something in a good routine. Remember how important your thoughts are. Fill your mind with good things all day long. Put signs up. Carry things with you. Keep a devotion with you. Have Bible verses to go to. Have affirmations to go to. Gratitude. And just keep remembering to focus on what you can control and how you respond. Because those two things are really important. If you can't control it, you got to let it go and not put any more energy to it. How you respond is your choice. And listen, if you respond immediately bad, just pause, take a breath, start again. That's super common. I do it all the time. You get to choose your attitude, your effort, your response, and how you see things, your perspective. So when it goes downhill, change it. Change it one step at a time. Prayer, gratitude, Bible verse, affirmation. You truly can change it. You really, really can change it. So fill your mind with good things so that it fills your heart with good things, because it really, really matters. It really, really matters. And there's so many Bible verses that can help you with this. So many. The ones that I already said, Matthew 22:37, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Put him first. Put him first. Whatever you're focusing on in this world, whether it's a person, comparison, unmet expectations, envy, whatever you are feeling, not enough, whatever you're feeling, focus on him. Fill yourself with him. Redirect your kids' thoughts to him. Pray to him that you and your family get closer to him every day. And even if you're not adding these things in your life, start today. Pray before a meal. Pray for your kids every day, your family. When your kids come to you with struggles, pray with them. Direct them to God. Like shift whatever focus you're focusing onto better things, good things, Christ-like things. And your life will shift little by little. Gratitude, I tell you, don't just say, I am grateful. Are you living with gratitude? Are you living with how you talk to your kids? Do they know you're grateful for them? How you treat your spouse? Do they know you're grateful for them? Like, are you living day to day? Are you telling God how grateful you are for all that he has provided, or are you just asking him for more? Are you grateful for how far you've come, yourself, your health, whatever you've achieved? Practice gratitude. I promise living with gratitude changes things dramatically. So as we enter this season, I want you to remember how much your mind is a direct connection to your heart. And let us start feeding our mind and our heart with all the good things, because there are so many good things. And one of the best verses, Philippians 4 through 9. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understandings, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. So good. So I'm wishing you a peace-filled season and reminding you, no matter what happens, you get to choose. You get to choose your next choice. You get to choose again if you didn't like your choice, how you respond, and remember what you can control. But take care of your heart this season. Protect it is the wellspring of life. Enjoy the season. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Take care and have a great week.